The morning sun spilled gently through the kitchen windows, painting golden streaks across the breakfast table. It should have been a peaceful start to the day, but within seconds, chaos erupted, and a family's world was turned upside down. Max, the family's loyal nine, growled low from his spot near the children. His eyes locked on the nanny, Clara, who had just placed steaming bowls of oatmeal on the table. The growl deepened, sharp and warning. Before anyone could react, Max lunged. His teeth clamped down on Clara's wrist, causing her to shriek in pain. The children screamed. The mother, Julia, rushed forward in horror, pulling Max back with all her strength. "What is wrong with you, Max?" Julia cried, clutching her terrified kids close. For a moment, silence filled the room, broken only by Clara's sobbing protest. "He bit me for no reason. This dog is dangerous." But Max didn't back down. He barked furiously, his gaze still fixed on the breakfast spread. And that's when Julia noticed it. A faint, bitter smell rising from the oatmeal. Unsure and trembling, Julia lifted a spoonful of oatmeal to her nose. Her stomach turned. Something wasn't right. She grabbed her phone and called her husband, Daniel, who worked in the city as a police detective. Within minutes, Daniel was home, his instincts kicking in. He carefully sealed a sample of the food and rushed it to the station's lab. The results came back in hours. The oatmeal had been laced with a slow-acting poison. Julia dropped to her knees when she heard the news, hugging Max tightly. The children clung to him too, their eyes wide with fear. If Max hadn't acted, they would have eaten that meal. The family was torn apart with fear and suspicion. Clara, the nanny, insisted she was innocent. "I would never hurt the children. I love them like my own." She sobbed, nursing the bite mark. But Daniel couldn't ignore the evidence. The food had been prepared while Clara was alone in the kitchen. She became the prime suspect. The children, especially little Emily, struggled with confusion. "Daddy, Clara wouldn't hurt us, would she?" She whispered one night. Julia's heart broke. How do you explain betrayal to a child? The hardest part wasn't just the investigation. It was living under a cloud of mistrust in their own home. Julia barely slept, haunted by the thought of what could have happened. Days passed. Max never left the children's side, sleeping at the foot of their beds like a silent guardian. His loyalty was unshaken. Then one evening, Daniel received a call from the lab. They had run a deeper analysis. The poison matched a rare compound used in gardening, one that Clara didn't have access to. Digging further, Daniel checked surveillance cameras around the house. And there it was. A shadowy figure had slipped into their backyard at dawn, before breakfast. The grainy footage revealed the culprit. Their estranged neighbor, Mr. Harlan, who had long held a grudge against Daniel over a land dispute. Clara was innocent. She had unknowingly prepared the poisoned oats, never realizing someone had tampered with the ingredients left in the pantry. When Daniel broke the news, Clara collapsed in relief, tears streaming down her face. Julia hugged her, guilt flooding in for doubting the woman who had cared for their children. Police arrested Harlan the next morning. He confessed bitterly, admitting he wanted to make Daniel suffer. His actions would have destroyed the family, if not for Max. The children celebrated their brave protector, showering Max with hugs and treats. Julia, still shaken, whispered into his fur, "You saved us all." Clara chose to stay with the family, determined to rebuild trust. The bond between her and the children only grew stronger after the ordeal. Months later, as life slowly returned to normal, Julia often looked at Max with awe. What seemed like an act of aggression had actually been the most selfless act of love. The lesson lingered in their hearts. Sometimes protection doesn't look gentle, it looks fierce. Trust, loyalty, and instinct can save lives when we least expect it. And in that home, one thing became certain. Max wasn't just their dog. He was their guardian, their hero, and their family.